Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and the Tennessee Titans have signed wide receiver and former Houston Texans wide receiver, which I am a Texans fan, Chris Moore, who had an outstanding season with the Texans for the limited time he played in, and just did a really decent job with the Texans. And I think overall this is a great signing by the Tennessee Titans today. I mean, if you look at their roster with the wide receiver room right now, Treylon Burks, who they selected in the first round in 22, he had a really solid rookie season. I liked what we saw from him. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, or Akine, I think it's Ikine, or I don't know. But he's another decent wide receiver. I think he had 500 receiving yards for the Titans last season. But besides that, they don't really have a third starting wide receiver. And even though Chris Moore is a really solid wide receiver, I don't know if the Titans should be done adding in names. I don't think the Titans are going to be a team to, potentially bring in DeAndre Hopkins. I just don't see that happening. But I think the Titans could be a team that could be bringing a wide receiver in the draft. I don't know if that's the first round. I doubt the first round. Somewhere in the later rounds, from 2 to 4. And I could see the Titans maybe adding in at least two wide receivers in the whole draft. In the NFL draft, I do see the Titans from round 1 through 7. I see the Titans drafting 2 wide receivers to add in some more depth with Chris Moore, Treylon Burks, and Nick Westbrook. So yeah, let's go over Chris Moore's stats though from the last 2 years with Houston. In 22, we spent the last 2 years with the Texans, and 21 didn't play a lot, but did okay. But 2022 was where he played a lot for the Texans and did really well. 16 games, 7 game starts, 74 targets, 48 receptions, 550 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Had a lot of great plays. Was a really nice deep threat for the Texans. The Texans, they were one of the worst offenses in the NFL, of course, but he was efficient in the offense. He was, Davis Mills wasn't good at all, but Davis Mills trusted him. He could go down the field to him as well. And I don't know, there was kind of this, Chris Moore played really good with the Texans last season, and maybe he gets more done with the Titans. I don't know, because it just depends. He might be playing more than he did in Houston. Who knows? But what I do know is he was a great wide receiver for the Texans last season on a horrible offense, and with not a lot of yards or production being done. Now the Titans, with the Titans offense and the way that's built out, I don't think Chris Moore gets even close to what he put up with the Texans last season, 548 receiving yards, just because that they're a huge running offense. I mean, you saw Robert Woods, who just became a Houston Texan before free agency started. He signed with the Texans for like a 2-year, $10 million deal, and he had like 600 or 500 receiving yards, played almost every game of the season, and was efficient for the Tennessee Titans this season, but didn't get that as much as yards as he probably would on a different offense, because the Titans are so big on running the football, and he would be the number 3 in the offense, or number 2 in the offense, if not maybe even a little bit lower in the depth if they go to the draft within the draft with drafting a wide receiver at some point in the draft. So yeah, I think Chris Moore, I think he has a decent year next year. I'm saying anywhere from 225 to 275 receiving yards and 2 to 3 receiving touchdowns for Chris Moore next season. Not as good as 548, but it's in a different offense, and yes, I think he is in a better situation, but I think the amount of targets will go down. I mean, he had 74 targets with the Texans last season. I think the targets should go down quite a couple, but I think that he will have a pretty decent season with the Tennessee Titans next season. You guys remember your thoughts on the signing? That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.